10 haunting realities that Native Americans face. The land we now call America was not always the developed nation known across the globe. The over 570 native tribes who have made this land their home possess a deep history, filled with cultural and spiritual traditions that have shaped the very essence of America. These rich traditions include a range of practices, customs, and rituals that, depending on your perspective, may seem fascinating, mysterious, or even unsettling. While only a few of these customs remain fully intact today, their essence continues to captivate and resonate. From unique coming-of-age ceremonies to extraordinary birth rituals and rites to honor the passing of a loved one, Indigenous Americans have, and still do, engage in practices that some may find odd. In today's episode of our YouTube series, we delve into some of the most intriguing customs of Native peoples, some of which might be seen as disturbing by today's standards. Welcome to another episode in our series where we share and celebrate the powerful stories of Indigenous peoples. Today, we're turning our focus to Native American traditions, uncovering 10 of their most unique customs. Before we journey into this world of fascinating Native practices, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Here are 10 distinctive practices among Native Americans that some might find unsettling. 1. The Miigwech Dole of the Ojibwe tribe. The Ojibwe had a poignant way of honoring their deceased children. When a child passed away, the community would gather the child's hair to create a doll known as a miigwech, which was given to the grieving mother. This doll, sometimes made using the child's clothing and personal belongings, was intended to comfort the mother and keep the memory of the child alive. The death of a child was a heart-wrenching event, marked by intense sorrow, isolation, and the singing of mournful songs. The Ojibwe believed that the spirits of their deceased children journeyed to a place of peace and joy, known as the land of the little people. Parents would mourn deeply, cutting their hair and refraining from speaking. For several days they carefully bathed and dressed the child in ceremonial garments, attaching family symbols to the attire. This was followed by a community feast and burial, with sacred offerings placed at the grave. The creation of the Miigwech doll was the final act in a prolonged period of mourning, helping the mother maintain a connection with her lost child. To the blessing way of the Navajo people. The Navajo, one of the many indigenous tribes in North America, hold profound beliefs about death and the afterlife. When a death occurred, especially under sudden or violent circumstances, the Navajo performed solemn rituals to protect the deceased family from malevolent spirit, known as chindi. One of their most significant ceremonies, the Blessing Way, was believed to secure the deceased spirit a peaceful journey to the afterlife. During this ceremony, a medicine man, or hate, would offer prayers and gifts to the holy spirits, sing sacred songs, and lead a purification ritual. Central to the Blessing Way was the creation of a sand painting, representing the universe and the spiritual journey of the deceased. The hate would then blow sacred smoke over the painting while chanting, offering a medicine bundle to the bereaved to comfort them in their grief. 3. The Moon Camp of the Yankton Sioux. Young girls of the Yankton Sioux underwent a 4-day coming-of-age ceremony known as the Isnati Awiki, or moon camp, upon reaching their first menstruation. This ceremony was designed to help them connect with their ancestors and culture, preparing them for womanhood. During the moon camp, the girls isolated themselves from the rest of the tribe, setting up a teepee where they would spend the next 4 days. They learned to gather fruits, herbs, and wildflowers for ceremonies and medicinal purposes, sang traditional songs, and prepared ceremonial foods like buffalo jerky. The girls also bathed in sage-infused water, listened to elder stories about their culture, and received teachings on sex and relationships. This ceremony, recently revived by the Braveheart Women's Society on the Yankton Sioux Indian Reservation, was a vital rite of passage for young women. For the Sweat Lodge. The Sweat Lodge ceremony, once widespread among many Native American tribes and still practiced today, is a powerful ritual for spiritual cleansing, prayer, and communion with the Creator. The Sweat Lodge itself is a dome-shaped structure made of bent saplings, with its interior and floor covered in animal skins. At its center sits a pit holding heated stones. A firekeeper begins the ceremony by lighting the sacred fire to heat the stones. while participants join a medicine man in smoking, ceremonial tobacco singing, or drinking herbal tea, in preparation for entering the lodge. Inside the lodge, the heat becomes intense, as the medicine man pours water mixed with herbs over the heated stones, filling the hut with steam. In the other darkness, participants offer prayers, chant, meditate, and seek visions, believing that the ceremony purges the body and spirit of toxins, diseases, traumas, and negative emotions. After the ceremony, they cool off in a nearby river, feeling spiritually and physically renewed. Although banned by the US government from 1885 to 1934, the sweat lodge has seen a resurgence since the 1970s. 5. The Sundance Ceremony. The Sundance is a sacred ceremony practiced by the Lakota, Cheyenne, and other Plains tribes. This intense ritual involves dancing, fasting, and praying, all designed to connect participants with the Creator and seek divine guidance. Participants prepare for the Sundance by fasting for 4 or more days to cleanse their bodies for the spiritual journey ahead. The ceremony site, often remote, is chosen for summer when the weather is warm. A Sundance pole adorned with feathers and beads is raised at the center of a dance circle, around which participants dance for hours, sometimes days without food. Though the dance is exhausting, those who partake believe it brings them closer to the Creator and grants them a sense of renewal. While it may seem grueling to outsiders, the Sundance is a deeply spiritual experience for those who participate. 6. The Dole Ceremony of the Iroquois people. In the past, it wasn't unusual to find a cornhusk doll in a young woman's home. Yet this doll held a deeper meaning. It was a symbol of her transition into womanhood, serving as a reminder of the responsibilities that came with this new stage in life. The Dole ceremony, known as Gehenna among the Iroquois, was a rite of passage for young girls who had just reached puberty. These girls would carefully gather corn husks, which were believed to symbolize fertility and renewal. With the guidance of an elder woman, they would weave these husks into a doll, adorning it with beads, feathers, and other meaningful objects. During the ceremony, members of the community, along with the girl's family, would present her with gifts and offer their support. This ritual celebrated the girl's potential for motherhood and recognized her new role as a bearer of Iroquois values and traditions. Despite changes over the centuries, the core of the Iroquois doll ceremony has remained intact, continuing to honor the importance of womanhood and the transition from girlhood to adulthood. Vision quests. Vision quests are a vital spiritual journey undertaken by many tribes of the plains, such as the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Lakota. These quests are significant rites of passage, often embarked upon by individuals at critical moments in their lives, particularly as they transition into adulthood or face uncertainty before beginning the quest. Participants would fast, pray, and cleanse themselves with smudge to prepare their minds and bodies. They also received guidance from spiritual leaders or elders to help them navigate the challenges and revelations ahead. The journey would take them to a sacred place, far from human habitation, where they would find a secluded spot for deep introspection, fasting, and praying. They would wait for a divine encounter, which might come in the form of dreams, symbols, emotions, or strong messages from the spirits. Upon returning from their quest, participants would share their experiences with the spiritual leaders, who would help interpret the visions. These quests were seen as opportunities for enlightenment, spiritual renewal, and truth-seeking, offering clarity, purpose, and a deeper connection to the world. 8. The Blackfoot Burial Practices. The Blackfoot, a group of 4 Native American tribes, are known for their unique burial practices, which reflect their deep beliefs about death and the afterlife for the Blackfoot. Death was not an end, but a passage to a new life, and they prepared their deceased loved ones accordingly. One notable practice was the tree burial, also known as scaffold burial. The deceased's relatives would erect forked poles in the ground, place cross poles at the top, and then lay the body atop. This structure, sometimes with personal belongings. In some cases, the body was positioned in a fetal pose, reflecting the belief that one leaves this life as they entered it. Other burial customs varied, often reflecting the tribe's respect and reverence for the dead. Some families would abandon the teepee where a person had died, while others burned the deceased's belongings to prevent their spirits from lingering. The Apache and Navajo tribes, among others, adopted similar practices, emphasizing the importance of honoring and respecting those who had passed 9. The childbirth practices of the Cherokee childbirth practices were deeply rooted in their cultural beliefs, involving rituals and strategies to ensure a safe delivery and smooth recovery. Childbirth usually took place in a small, isolated area near a water source, with midwives or experienced female relatives assisting the expectant mothers. These assistants would use various herbal remedies, recite spiritual songs, dance, and offer prayers to invoke blessings and protection from the Creator. They also employed techniques such as alternating hot and cold baths to relieve the mother's pain, improve circulation, and encourage contractions. If the child was slow to arrive, a unique practice involved pulling a special string from a bow and singing or telling stories to the unborn baby. These stories, sometimes laced with playful threats, were intended to coax the child into the world. Historical accounts suggest that these methods, though unconventional, were often effective, with babies being born soon after 10. The potlatch among the Native Americans of the Pacific Northwest coast. The potlatch was a remarkable ceremony of gift-giving and generosity. During this event, the hosts would give away or even destroy their possessions, including food, canoes, and slaves, as a demonstration of their wealth and social standing. The potlatch was held to mark significant life events, such as weddings, naming ceremonies, or funerals, and to affirm the host's prestige within the community. Sometimes multiple hosts would compete to see who could give the most, turning the potlatch into a grand display of wealth and generosity to the tribes like the Haida Coast, Salish, and Tlingit. The potlatch was more than just a celebration. It was a vital tradition that maintained social bonds, reinforced cultural values, and allowed for the expression of social status. While it might seem extravagant to outsiders, for these tribes the potlatch was a cherished practice that upheld the community's spirit and unity. This ends our video on yet another exciting episode of our series. If you enjoyed this video and want to be alerted to other videos like this when we post them, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and push the notification bell on your screen